Your kids moved out of the house. You find yourself sitting on the couch watching TV one night. You look down to the far end of the sofa and find your partner all the way on the other side of the room, and you think to yourself, now what do we do? Welcome to the Old Married Couple Trying New Things podcast, the show where you've got more money than you used to have and pants are optional.
No. I don't even know what to say when you say that.
I don't know either.
What?
So I'm Michael Smith. This is my lovely wife and partner in crime, Stacy, and we are the Old Married Couple, but we're not really old. I don't think.
No, I certainly am not.
But we have been married 28 years. 28 years.
Yes, we have.
And our kids have moved out of the house, and we find ourselves with extra money.
An extra time.
Not that there's ever extra money, but you know what I'm saying. If your kids have moved out of the house, you've got a little more money, a little more time to do more stuff, and you find yourself missing the kids, but that's because you haven't found a hobby yet.
True.
Do some of the stuff that you couldn't do when you were raising the kids.
Right, and that's kind of what we're doing. We're just trying to make sure that we don't get old before our time and bored with one another. So we're out there trying new things. We've got the time, a little bit of extra money, lots more time. I'm finding that the time is the thing that really surprises me with the kids not living with us anymore. But anyway, so that's what we're doing. We're trying to keep our relationship nice and fresh. Don't want to get stale.
Nope, not at all. I don't think, how could we get stale with you wearing a new hat every 15 seconds?
I know. Should we talk about the hat for a
Let's
minute?
talk about your hat.
All right. Well, first of all, before we get into the hat, because the hat leads into our theme for the day, I just want to give a quick shout out to everybody in the state of Florida.
Oh, definitely.
Yeah. Ian went through there, and really on the east coast of South Carolina and bits of North Carolina too, because it's coming back. Went all the way across Florida and
became a hurricane again, and now it's coming back and hitting South Carolina. And
living here in New Orleans, we've lived through a couple of storms. One pretty bad, Ida, last year.
Been there, done that.
And it can be devastating. So to all of you out there, stay safe. Just that's the big thing. Stay safe, and everything else you can reacquire stuff.
Yeah, stuff can be replaced. You can't.
Yeah, so
That's
stay
the
safe.
thing to remember.
Yep. And Florida happens to be what we're talking about today, little bit. We've got, and that's what the hat's all about too. We went on a little mini vacay. So just a couple of days, we went down to Florida because it's close. It was only about a 4.5-5 hour drive.
Panama City Beach, did a couple of days on the beach. It was great.
It was. And so we want to talk about how fun that was. And I know you're all thinking, okay, trying new things, like you've never been to the beach. We've been to the beach. But it's the
importance of those little weekend getaways
is
the thing. So, yeah, I mean, is it anything fancy? No, we went to Panama City Beach. Most people have been there. It's just a beach.
And I hear people call it the Redneck Riviera, which I really like that.
Yeah, and it's fitting.
Yeah.
Yeah, so, I mean, it was about the beach, not about the destination, for me, anyway. I mean,
Right. And that whole taking the time to just spend a couple of days away from home, relaxing together, enjoying ourselves. But anyway, so I wore this hat on the beach. So that's why I have the hat on today. Because I burn real easily, so I can't spend more than a couple days on the beach or I'll be crispy.
Yeah, you do burn quick.
Yeah.
Although I burned the tops of my feet.
That's a little weird.
Yeah.
I fry up like bacon. I don't know what's up with that.
Yeah, I've never had sunburns on the tops of my feet before. That hurt. I don't like to wear shoes anyway, and that made me definitely not want to wear shoes.
Can't go to work barefoot though. So.
No, I mean I could. Yeah. They'd probably send me home. I'm going to keep that in mind for Friday.
Right. Okay. Well, I want to start out with a recipe, and again, going with this beach theme. I want to talk about margaritas. I love margaritas, and I'm not big on alcohol. I like wine, I like beer, but I do like margaritas. Otherwise, I wouldn't drink tequila. We're not doing a shot.
Makes your clothes come off. Drink more tequila.
What else? That is a weird song. I don't like that song, by the way. But anyway.
Such a prude.
But I don't like country music either, so.
Oh, that's fair.
Yeah. But anyway, so a margarita is a great beach drink, and I know for some of you up north, you're cold already. And I'm sorry about your weather. We're having great weather down here.
Oh, yeah. Oh, it was, I think it got up to 78 today.
And
it
a nice
was
little breeze,
60 when I woke up this morning. It was perfect. Now it's going to warm back up. That cold front that saved us from Hurricane Ian kind of did Florida in. So I feel guilty that we're having such great weather here.
But we'll be up to 90 and 100% humidity, I'm sure, again.
Yeah,
soon.
it's not going to last. By this weekend, it's going right back up.
But it's good margarita weather right now. And I saw this thing today. I just want to talk about this thing I saw online real quick. Okay, before I do my margarita recipe. Because this woman was doing way too much to make her margaritas, and they looked bad.
You showed me that video. What was it? That was wrong.
So I don't even understand this, because it's so much easier to just shake it up and serve it on the rocks or throw it in the blender.
Right.
But she took her coffee pot, and it was one of those basket style coffee makers, and she put Skittles in the basket, and then she filled the pot with ice, and then she poured tequila into the reservoir thing where you put your water in and it heats up. So you've got hot tequila already. You're heating up your tequila, and I'm thinking about, when you clean your coffee maker and you put the vinegar through it and it smells so bad. Hot tequila is not going to smell good.
No, I don't know why. This video is on Facebook floating around, and it's a terrible, terrible thing. She heated the tequila to dissolve the Skittles to get the fruit flavor out of the Skittles to add to this margarita. It's not a margarita. Whatever she was doing, it's wrong on every level.
It was hot tequila, and
it wasn't hot because you were in it through
and watery
into
Skittles,
ice. But it was
not
watered,
Skittles.
It was
Starburst.
watered down tequila and dissolved Starburst. Yeah, it was Starburst, and some fruit
over ice.
Yeah,
she had some lemon wedges and some orange wedges in there.
It was horrible.
It just seemed like way too much. So
yeah, that's not how you do it. If you want to know how to make a margarita, don't watch that video because it was wrong.
I'm going to tell you the right way to do it. So you're going to take 2 ounces of tequila.
2.5 ounces of tequila. I can't make the half with that finger. It doesn't bend right. But
you might be
like
able
that.
to.
2.5.
I kind of got it.
Yeah, see, I can't. When I try to go half, it just pops right up.
Oh, look at you. You're so funny.
Yeah.
All right. So 2 to 2.5 ounces of tequila, depending on how strong you would like that. You're going to take the juice of a whole lime, so be sure you squeeze that thing really good.
And if you can't squeeze a lime to get all the juice out of it, just do 2, because that'll be about the juice of...
Yes, that was an interesting hand motion you had going there, but
that I can do. You can't do the half finger, but...
And half an ounce of triple sec. And what you want to do is put this in your shaker with some ice. And you're going to shake it all up. And you're going to pour it into your glass that you've already rimmed with salt. And, I know you all know how to rim your glass with salt. You take your lime wedge and go around so it's wet. And then you put in the salt. And that's how you make a simple margarita on the rocks. You can throw all that in a blender, too, and blend it if you want a frozen margarita. And you can always throw some fruit in there, too. But don't do the coffee pot and Starburst thing, because that was just weird. And
that was nuts.
Yeah, and it just seemed like, oh, no. No.
Do you have tequila and triple sec?
We might. You having a margarita?
Frozen strawberry margaritas.
Oh, yeah, because we've got all those strawberries.
Yeah.
Alrighty. Okay, Mike's got a plan. So...
It involves tequila. That's always the plan.
All right. So... let's move on to our little conversation about going to the beach. Yeah. It was fun. I don't know what else to say about it. It was fun. I did have to reapply sunscreen an awful lot so that I didn't burn.
Right. Well, it's beach going. Yeah. But it's not, again, it wasn't as much about the beach as it was just getting away even for a couple of days and doing something different and getting out of the routine. And that's what it was about.
Yeah, and really, this is going to sound so strange, but the kids are out of the house and grown up, but we have a dog and we have 2 cats, and the cats don't require so much time and energy, but
there's
dog,
one rubbing
Ziggy,
on me right now down here. Cats require some attention.
They do, but Ziggy, our dog, he's like another child sometimes, and it was nice to get away from him for a couple days.
It was. First of all, did this happen to? Send us emails or comments, on Facebook or wherever. Did this happen to any of the rest of you? We spent forever, 20 some years, right, raising 4 children. Mm-hmm. And when they left, they all left these stray animals that they found wherever. They brought them inside and then they went off.
Yeah.
And then we got the animals.
Yeah. So.
And I love them all. Don't get me wrong. We've got 2 cats and a dog, and we love all of the animals. But I was just getting to that point where I thought my responsibilities were going to decrease, and now we're stuck taking care of 3 animals that the kids all adopted and left.
Well, and Ziggy in particular, our dog, because we had a dog that we had gotten when our youngest was just a year old.
Right.
So, and he was a big dog, Clifford, and he was getting older, and we had the conversation about, okay, no more pets, because when Clifford goes, the kids will be growing up, and we don't want that responsibility.
And do all of the stuff. Sure, we were planning on it.
So in Clifford's last year of life, one of our kids found this puppy living under the neighbor's house, and he was a stray, obviously abandoned or runaway or whatever.
Afraid of everything, barking and growling at neighbor kids when they were out playing.
And then they'd throw rocks at him and stuff. So obviously he needed to be rescued. But that's how we ended up with Ziggy. And
Simon spent days trying to coax this dog out from underneath the neighbor's house with food. I mean, like maybe a week.
Well, it really didn't, I don't think, took that long. And once Ziggy felt trusting with the food, it was pretty easy to scoop him up and bring him in.
Yeah, I mean, so that's what happened. It was several days. It was more than one day of him trying to coax that dog out. And then the next thing I knew, it was on my couch.
Yeah. So, but we love
Stray
Ziggy.
dog really did not smell good either.
Okay, but we love Ziggy.
He still doesn't smell good.
We love Ziggy, though. And
squirreliest dog in the world.
It was nice
Did y'all ever see the show The Wire? That character that we named the dog after? Ziggy?
From season 2.
Season 2
yeah.
of The Wire.
See,
Squirrely character, we named the dog after him.
Well, no, we didn't. That was... Our child did that. I just changed it. I decided to call him Ziggy Stardust, and I moved on from that.
He's still just as squirrely as that character from The Wire.
Maybe. But anyway. So it was nice. I felt like to just not have those responsibilities, and that's really what a little vacation's all about, is just getting away and having that time to chill and relax.
And that was nice.
It was a lot of fun.
And speaking of shout outs, we can shout out Liam. Liam took Ziggy while we were gone, and we didn't have to get a pet sitter.
Right. And we did that last week. When we got back.
Yeah.
And we did
did we?
Yeah.
Shout it out? I'm shouting him out again, because...
thanks, Liam.
Yeah,
we appreciate that.
Way to adult, son. I like it.
Yes. But anyway, so in terms of little vacations, there's lots of stuff that you can do, always.
Right.
Always. But the beach is an easy one for a number of reasons.
Depending on where you are.
True, because obviously, if you're up in northern Michigan and it's December and you want a weekend getaway, probably going to your local beach isn't going to be a great time. Maybe.
Unless you're into ice fishing.
Yeah. But for us, it was super simple.
Yeah, it's not too bad. From New Orleans, I mean, you're going to be a 3, 4, 5 hour drive away from New Orleans to really find a good, high quality beach, like a nice beach.
Yeah, that's true. That's about accurate. And there is something about, New Orleans is a small city, but it is still a city. And there is something really relaxing about getting out of the city limits.
Seeing that city in the rearview mirror every once in a while is pretty nice. I love this city, but you're right. I mean, I you get outside of the city and the traffic eases up a little bit. You like it.
Yeah. It was just relaxing.
It was cool.
And and I somehow or other managed to channel my father-in-law, and so every town especially every state, when we hit the state lines, I was scoping out the gas prices and commenting on them.
Yeah, we both were doing that. It was not attractive. But as bad as that was, I think I sold my soul probably the most, because I got tired of fiddling with the radio, and we were trying to play Spotify. I mean, you know how it is when you're on a road trip, 3-4 hours. You got to change the radio station, every so often, because you lose your radio signal. So then I got tired of, we were losing internet signal in and out too, because the Florida Panhandle, y'all, you can hear some banjos in spots, and that's likely where the internet is shut off.
Yeah.
So we couldn't stream Spotify. And I did this thing, all my radio people. You ready for this? I subscribed to satellite radio.
Didn't satellite radio kill the need for local DJs at local radio stations?
No, actually what did that was local radio stations not realizing that they needed to be local.
Okay.
That's a whole nother story. But still, satellite radio and Spotify and Pandora in the car, I get it. It's a pain in the butt to change the station all the time.
Yeah. So it was a really fun road trip, though.
It was a fun road trip. I sold my soul, though. I always said I would never, ever satellite radio, and I satellite radioed.
Yeah, you did. And while we were at the beach, we rented some chairs.
We did do that.
And that was really fun. So on Panama City Beach, there's a guy who goes to the local resorts. You call him up, and he
just comes and breaks out the chairs and
for you, and
you hang out. And he forgot to charge us, and then he stalked me for 2 weeks.
Okay, so we've been back a week.
First of all, really great guy too, and I just took care of it.
And he called you one time.
Yeah.
So.
Wasn't stalking me for a week, but I tried to pay him on the spot, and he's like, "Oh, I'll get it later."
Okay, somebody exaggerates.
No, that's what he said.
Oh, okay. All right. Anyway, but it was really cool because he just brought the chairs, and then when you're done, you just leave the chairs, and he came and picked them up. So we just had a good time. It was just really nice. We did go into their little downtown area for a little while, and we went to this bar where the entertainment was not fantastic, but we did have some good nachos, so there's a trade-off. I don't know if the nachos were worth that music, but
no, probably not.
I mean, it was a relatively good trade-off.
Well, and the nachos, I don't even know that the nachos were all that good either, and I'm not going to get into details, but let's just say we both had some stomach issues after eating the nachos.
Dude, don't need to talk.
Well, I'm not detailing it. Don't go into detail about what.
Right. We had a good time though.
We did we had a lot of fun.
You make it sound like we did not.
Well, no, I'm just saying. It is what it is. Look, it was Florida. We went and did some very Florida stuff outside of hanging out on the beach, and that's not really what we like.
The point is, really, I think that
the beach was cool.
That a little mini vacation is really good for you, and everyone needs a break. Take a break, go on a little vacation. And while we're talking about vacations, because this was a little vacation, we're going on a longer vacation in a couple of weeks, so I do want to give you a little programming note about our podcast. We will be doing, obviously we've got this week's podcast, we'll be doing a podcast next week. However, the following week, it would be the 14th, I guess, of October. There will not be a podcast.
We're not going to have a podcast?
I don't know how we're going to be able to do that because
we could record 2 ahead of time, or we could record 1 on the road.
Okay. So right now I'm not going to guarantee that there will be a podcast on the 14th, and we will for sure be back on the 21st with a podcast, but...
Right. We hadn't really talked about no podcast on that week of that trip.
But no guarantee.
But our gear's all mobile, so I'm thinking there'll be a podcast.
because we're going on a road trip, vacation, nice long vacation,
That'll be
and
fun.
we'll have lots to talk about from that.
Absolutely.
Just tons of good stuff.
yeah.
Yeah, it's going to be a lot of fun. That's really, I think, all I have to say about vacations. They're worth it. Take one.
Oh,
you
yeah.
deserve it.
Go do something. Speaking of squirrely dogs.
You can always hear him when he comes in.
Yeah.
All right, so are you going to give us a nice little life hack?
Oh, yeah. This is actually, yeah.
Beaches?
Yeah,
Okay.
we're done talking about beaches. So this is, and I don't have an example here for you of this life hack, but so one of the things that we always end up doing is saving a jar or a container or something, whether it's a pickle jar or,
Because it's a really nice jar, not because we have any plans for it, but it's just a nice jar.
And that's all I got to say about that. So your best friend, when someone is asking you to scrub the label off of that jar, is white vinegar. Slather that label with white vinegar, several coats, and then put that same white vinegar on a washcloth, lay it over top of that label overnight, and the next day, the label will rub right off with all the adhesive. No issues, no problems, no fuss. I regret a little bit that I said that out loud and recorded it, because now we're going to be saving all the jars.
I'll be following you around with a little recording.
I know. Remember when you said, but that really does work. If you got anytime, I actually learned that trick the first time we had to peel stickers off of somebody's walls. Don't you remember with the kids with the stickers all over stuff?
Vaguely.
Yes. So that, but it works on anything with the sticker, adhesive, or label.
Nice.
It'll take that glue and get rid of it. So there you go. That's your handy life hack. White vinegar is your friend.
Okay.
All right.
Beautiful. Anything else you want to?
No, that's got it. So next week's podcast, what are we talking about?
You stumped me with that question.
We don't have any plans.
Not yet, but I'm going to come up with something because that's what we do.
Yeah, we got to do something.
Yeah. So, woo! Be fun. We get to go do something.
It's a surprise. So
everyone likes a surprise.
Right. Well, I don't know. Ziggy, you had a surprise. We took Ziggy to the vet today. He had a surprise. He didn't like it.
Well,
But his temperature was normal.
Okay. Poor dog. It's got to be a miserable way to find that one out.
Especially when you don't know it's coming. He made the face, too. He was like...
Okay.
I didn't know dogs could make that face, but he did. He looked at me and went...
I feel like we're done.
We're done. I think we're done.
You should be done. All right. So we want to thank you for listening to the Old Married Couple Trying New Things podcast. It is a production of OMC Broadcasting, and you can check us out online on our website at omcbroadcasting.com. You can find us on Facebook and Instagram and Twitter. Do all the things, and check us out, like us. We like to be liked, just like everyone else.
Should we try the TikTok soon? I've been looking at it.
I don't know. Maybe,
I think we can do it.
Maybe we'll get brave and try the TikTok. If we do, we'll let you know. It might be another new thing.
We don't know how to work the TikTok.
We'll have Liam come over and show us or something. Anyway. Also, if you want Mike to do some stand-up, you can always send us an email. Send him an email at michael@omcbroadcasting.com. And I think that's all we've got for today.
The pressure's huge. All right. Bye, y'all.
Bye.